have Dr. Haruna with us here. Dr. Haruna, it's good to have you with us today. Good evening to you, sir. How are you doing today? What is your take on the ongoing, pathetic, excruciating situation, sir?
Hey, how are you, Elvis? It's been a while, but
I'm fine, sir.
Just watching, like we're watching an action movie, and to everyone that has been, part of the panel, for some of you for months, some for close to a year, and God will reward you, and it will not be in vain.
Amen.
For me, I've gone past assessing or even expecting to see any performance from Tinubu, because he didn't come for that. He came for a different agenda. And the whole idea of Emilokon is just that they see Nigeria as a piece of business thing that they will share. I gave the others, I've been a kingmaker, I've made for others by hook or by crook all these years, and then I made Buhari one of the worst things that ever happened to Nigeria, that I regret even associating or to have been one of the people that thought, because of his coming from a military background, he will stop corruption. But then that was one of the biggest mistakes Nigerians have made, which also gave birth to this evil rogue in the name of President Tinubu. So anybody that's actually expecting anything positive from Tinubu, I think we are expecting too much, because he doesn't have it, and that is not why he came. So we can't expect to see any change in Nigeria. So, and for people that are saying, let's wait for another 4 years, they're either naive, ignorant, or they're part of the whole scam, and they know what they stand to benefit. I can tell you, it's now we're just about 5 months, but see what he has done. It's almost like Buhari's 4 years. So at least Buhari for many months did not even, he was just like a passive leader, strategizing on how to put his king's men in. But then this one, as he said, he will hit the ground running. So he hit the ground running with destroying people's lives. And give him more months, you will not recognize Nigeria. So I would say we should not be surprised, because he has a philosophy. He believes that money can buy anything. And he says this, that give people money, no matter how upright they are, you will get, they will break down and submit to you. They will throw away their uprightness. He said, give them money. If they resist it and say, no, we want to stand for uprightness, give them more. And if they still resist, add more. And he says, keep giving until you buy them over. That's exactly the system they use to get 5 judges in the appeal court to come and give that kind of sham, diabolic judgment, which was very obvious. And as I always say, weak, evil, corrupt judges will always use technicalities because they don't have what it takes. The law is against them, so they can't use the real law or follow anything that has a mark of truth and sincerity and uprightness. So, and they are preparing the same thing. That's why the moment this Chicago State University thing came, all the puppets, the paid, thugs, went on television to quickly defend that. And so for me, going forward, as I've always said, I know people have been saying, let's wait for Supreme Court. I made a call when it was time of waiting for the appeal court. And some people felt maybe I'm now not optimistic as I used to be, but it's because of certain information we have, which I kept saying that time. I won't reveal it because of I'm on a platform where there are certain things that cannot be spoken. And as I speak right now, no matter what Chicago State University comes up with, the court in America comes up with, they are determined. They have said, this is Nigeria. These people are not going to tell us how to run our nation. our constitution is different from American constitution. They're already talking about Joe Biden that is there. How did he get there? So they're already talking, and they have already caucused and met together to say, this is how Supreme Court judgment will be. No matter what FBI says, no matter who says what, they are going to say this is Nigeria and our law. This is how we see our law, our constitution, and this is our interpretation to it. They will go back to the weak area of technicalities and use that. They're not going to use something concerning, the case of forgery and this. They will just come and say, no, this was not clearly defined in their prayers before or in whatever they submitted before. So they cannot come and be wasting the time of the Supreme Court judges in trying to reinstitute another fresh case. When you had them when they were now announced, before they announced the result, when people like Dino Melai got up and said, no, this has not been verified. The people were now, from there already, they said, go to court, go to court. Then every time you hear them, so kind of confidently tell people to go to court, is because they already know what they have finished. We are waiting for announcements. We are waiting to know who are the judges. We are waiting to know what's the day of the judgment. But they already have it planned. We are the ones that are just sitting and waiting for our principal to come and make an announcement and say, okay, Tinubu, you're supposed to come clean and tell people. These people are not thinking about playing according to rules. They want to mortgage Nigeria, put it in their pocket and control them forever. And they have said, we need our own share. Whatever Tinubu did in Lagos is going to be a baby version to what he will do to Nigeria. We haven't seen anything yet. So to me, the simple thing to do is remove Tinubu. The Supreme Court, and I'm not speaking negative, I know stuff, and I'm not going to say them here, but I'm saying I spoke about Plan B before, and I'm still on Plan B. The citizens are more powerful than the Senate, the House of Rep, because the power corrupts, money corrupts. Somebody sitting there, maybe even some people that are listening to us, the comment section or whatever, they may be saying, we want justice, we want justice. But it takes somebody that has the fear of God, like that professor, that, is it Imo, or no, where is it? The one that refused the bribe. Where is she again?
Abia State, Abia.
Okay, Abia State. Okay, where OT is now. It's how many Nigerians are like that? How many have we had? How many redeemed pastors? The wife of Tinubu, is she not a redeemed pastor? So, Papa Adeboye, was he not the one that was having Buhari during his time to convince Nigerians to vote for him? They were singing Christian choruses. The former vice president, Yemi Osibanjo, because he's a pastor under the, when Buhari was sick, who was visiting him there? Was it not the same Geo? And so now we are sitting here, and I fear God. But I'm telling you, God has given the destiny of Nigeria to the hands of Nigerians. I thank God for the American court and what they have exposed. But to me, we should leverage that to say, with all these exposures, we have a backing. We have a moral ground to stand and say we want our nation back, because the judges have been bought again. They already know who is coming in, and the one that is going to head, just like Justice Samani. Did you know that Justice Samani was sending prayer points around, asking people to pray for him, that he's under pressure and that he wants to do the right thing? Long before the judgment. And as time went on, he was avoiding people because he got bought. And currently now, the person that is the loyalist to APC and to Tinubu is going to lead the panel of judges for the Supreme Court. And he already has a side he's taking. Then the Minister of Health, who is the Attorney General, was the person who was the lead counsel, who is like the employer now, who decides who should be where. The CJN, we already know whose side he's in. Then we are still saying, oh, we are waiting for justice. We are waiting. Let's see what the Supreme Court will do, because the case is too obvious now. They are not thinking like normal human beings like you and I think. To them, they thrive in evil. The night is when their activities flourish. While you're thinking about the welfare of Nigerians, thinking about why should they buy those kind of cars, he needs to bribe all of them and silence them. That is the witchcraft that he knows. Buy people off and you will subdue them. You will make slaves out of them. So, and that is what he's going to do for these 4 years if it's allowed. So what am I saying? I have settled for the fact that he has to be removed. And if Nigerians had come out on the day that Mahmoud Yakubu announced that result, that was an opportune moment to spontaneously say, no, what happened? We didn't vote for this person. Why did they do this? And Nigeria just went out. These people were not prepared with the army. They were not prepared with the police. It would have just been the people saying no and taking it. Then another opportunity was during the swearing in, that people were not supposed to swear him in, because the moment he comes in, Tinubu will do what Tinubu will do. Tinubu, if he knows he can get Elvis and get Elvis to be on his side, he doesn't mind giving Elvis $300 million. But because Elvis is a man of integrity who, no matter whether you empty the central bank and give to him, he will never bring down his values for money. But how many Nigerians are like Elvis, or like some of us that have been on this channel? So that's why we still have to come up with a plan. What are we going to do should the Supreme Court uphold Tinubu's presidency? Because as I tell you, they are busy planning already concerning what will happen next year, year after next. They are not thinking anything. Yes, they are panicking because a lot is being exposed and is losing credibility in the international. But he's not scared of Nigerians because he feels he has bought everyone that needs to protect him and keep him as president. And then he just feels like that is it and nobody can remove him. So only Nigerians can remove Tinubu, not the court, because the court has been compromised 98%. And I believe in miracles. A miracle can happen. We have seen it happen for people that believe the Bible or are people that believe in the miraculous. You will know that God has fought for his people several times, and God can do it and is capable of doing it. But you know what? God has given men's destinies into their hands. They are responsible for what they allow and for how long they allow it. So I call upon everyone listening to me to say, I am a hardcore northerner, but I'm telling you, the plan is that after a while, Tinubu continues to do what he's doing, putting his own kinsmen like Buhari did. The Fulani can do it and go free. But I'm telling you, no other tribe in Nigeria will be able to do what Buhari did and stay in power for 4 years. So they will gang up soon to remove him and put their own man. And then we're back to zero, which could even be worse. So now is the opportune time for us to now start to discuss. If we need to start, it's something, a campaign of Tinubu must be removed. Tinubu must be removed. Whatever we can do. Do you know when you start to throw something out, and everywhere is it, then it creates a momentum within people, then it gives birth to an action that is spontaneous. You know, because they need people, one man that will call for a rally or a protest, then they go after the one man, capture the man, imprison him, and scare the others. But when You've hit on every side, and it creates a momentum where people are disgusted and they're saying, we don't want to even wait for 4 years again. We want it now. We want him removed. We will take him in. Jonathan said something, former President Jonathan. He gave an example of what happened in another nation, and he was warning concerning Nigeria. He said the people went and removed the person from the state house. It was citizens that did it, not the army. Because if we talk about the army and we're waiting for the army in Nigeria, they have bought the top people. They are also extremely corrupt. So we can't wait for them. Only Nigerians that know we are tired, because they don't have our interest, and they say they want to give them these cars so that they can visit their constituencies. Many of them have vowed they are not going to their constituencies because it is not safe. So will they drive the car there? They are not going anywhere. It is so that they can eat the money. They don't have a plan for people. It's a plan of destroying people so that they can just stay there and enjoy. But they will bribe people using money so that those people will not be able to talk. That's why you will have people like Labour Party. One man, one woman from Labour Party can stand up and challenge. Point of order. I disagree with what you're doing. It will create such an uproar inside their chamber that it will be news everywhere. But they are quiet. They don't even need bloggers to do it for them. One man will stand up and challenge. So they need that kind of chaos that will create a national awareness and consciousness. But when money is involved, I am telling you, even the most upright, they bury their head in the sand. So the final people that will do it are simple Nigerians that they know these people will never think about our welfare. Whether we give them another 4 years, another 8 years, we will always be the ones that will suffer. So we are tired. We want it back now. That's my take on what's going on.
Wow. Dr. Haruna, thank you very much for your submission. Thanks for coming around today. I want to appreciate you.
Can I please ask Dr. Haruna a question? Sorry.
Yes, yeah, you can. Just hold on. Just hold on. Thank you very much, sir, for coming in. I really do appreciate your submission, your stand for a better Nigeria. You mentioned something that at the moment now you're not sure, or rather, you don't even have hope that the judiciary can remove Tinubu, rather Nigerians. My question to you, sir, as a northerner, you'll be fighting, everybody can testify to it, your effort so far, to date, how Nigeria can be better. You're a northerner, do you think if it comes to Nigerians coming out to remove Tinubu in any way, do you think the northerners will join this movement?
Okay. When you say northerners, we must kind of define what we mean by northerners. Take out the Fulanis. Yes, northerners will. And why will the Fulanis not join? Because they have a plan for the future. They need Tinubu to keep messing up for them to reinforce what they want. So, but you look at Benue, look at even part of Niger, and look at Plateau, look at what's this place with Yaya Bello? See, just this Kogi. Look at Kogi State. Look at Kaduna. Look at Taraba. Look at Adamawa. Look at Bauchi. I am telling you,
even parts of
that are actually waiting for something to just happen, and you will be shocked. They are from the north. But they just, because, let me tell you, do you know many of the people that are actually putting so much pressure that have stood the test even since Tinubu's thing happened with the stolen mandate? Do you know 90% of them are northerners? Look at people like that stuck their necks out and came out close to 30 or 40 days of insisting and protesting when it was not popular for anybody to protest. They went to embassies, went to the UN, went to different places. People like Dr. Mo, people like Zari. So those are people that can call this thing overnight, and the whole of the North will move. People like El Buba, they are fearless. I am fearless because I don't care. I've got nothing to, because the suffering is too much, and I've told myself enough is enough. They've lied to us as Northerners. This thing of refusing Igbos, it has come to an end. If Peter Obi was president, in 2 months, Nigeria will be like 16 years of governance that others have wasted our time. So yes, answering your question, you will be shocked. Okay. Abuja will be littered. Nasarawa will be littered.
Thank you. Thank you.
See his meetings in Plateau. See his meetings in Plateau. But this Lalong thing was among those sellouts that they are using. See how many people are being killed in Plateau. And because of people like Lalong and his money, few people. And I'm saying the people are more than a few rogues and thieves. Thieves are more afraid of us. Do you know these people are actually afraid of us? That's why he's buying them up.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Haruna. I think somebody wanted to ask a question. Before that, before I come to you, Mother Busy Brains, I would like to quickly respond to Dr. Alexander Gomez. Thank you very much for your support. And there's a question you attached to it. Said, Elvis, I know you verify your articles before discussion. How accurate is that FBI article you read out minutes ago? Please confirm accordingly. Yes. We, on this particular trending, anything that is trending on verified platforms on Twitter, we don't go extra miles to verify it. We bring it here based on allegedly, and we read it accordingly on the platform where it's coming from. So this one now is circulated everywhere right now. So I cannot go verify the accuracy of this by going to the FBI or going to the ESCC in Nigeria. So obviously, you know, and between you and I, you know that no mainstream media will ever report this. That's one thing, you know. So it's currently trending. There's what we call what's trending. It's just like Arise News, you know, they have the session they call What is Trending, right? What is Trending, handled by Oji Nika Okpe. So everything she brings there, she don't verify that is what is trending. So that's what I mean. Thank you, sir. Madam, please go ahead with your question.
Okay, Dr. Haruna Sanu. What I just wanted to ask, Lafia Kalosa Sanu, what I wanted to ask, you know, I understand that the northern, far north, most especially, I won't class middle belt. I'm talking about the far north, like places like Kano, Katsina, Sokoto, you know, Borno. Well, even in fact, it will surprise a lot of people that a lot of the people in Borno are Christians and Yobe. But then for those who are, you know, indoctrinated, how
is that a question?
No. It's just a byline. The question is, how can we send message to enlighten them? Because these people have been indoctrinated for so long. You know, so with the BBC that is even still in their ears, telling them different narratives that they want to hear. You know, how do we change their minds? What do we do to bring them? Because if I'm on a platform like this and I see a lot of people saying that the Northerners don't care, they won't join. But I want to differ. I want to believe that it's because they don't know any better. How can we get them to know better? How can we inform them that they have been misinformed? How can we let them understand that the governor of Zamfara, his daughter has a room that has shoes is like a shoe shop. Is it normal? Is it normal that one person should be driving a car of 160 million? They cannot feed their own family. How do we get that kind of message to them? How can we evangelize to them that they need to participate in this new Nigeria? How can we get the message to them? Thank you. I don't know if
Thank you. Yeah, I don't think you should be training your army when war has started. So in a time like this, you just need to identify those that are ready. And those are the ones you run with. The others were always joined when they see the thing is working. So, but to try and people that have been so indoctrinated, and I've said this before, that the way the typical far northerner thinks, they think in such a way that this ranka idede. It's a thing where somebody is saying, may you live long, even though you are robbing me. May you live long, even though you are oppressing me. May you live long, even though I have no food to eat and I have to pay homage. Sit on the floor, you give me food that is expired or food you finish that you fight with your dogs over. So the system, they have weaponized ignorance, weaponized poverty, weaponized. That's why they don't want the people to go to real schools, because they will be enlightened. So the masses that you will expect in those far north to come out and join, they will not, because they have not been trained to do it that way. So only a few of them that are enlightened, very educated, that have experience, have friends from other parts of Nigeria or have been abroad, they see how life is, and they're seeing that their people are just using, taking advantage of them and oppressing them. They are making it, while the others, they are not thinking about this car thing you're talking about. To them, they will actually celebrate their man coming with that car. They will pay homage to that person. There will be so many people that will be in the house of the senator or the house of rep member, and they will come, that house will be filled up. All they'll be doing is ranka idede, expecting just those drop of 1 naira, 20 naira, and the politicians know that they will go with change and be giving them. So it's only enlightened people like you and I that know that this thing about distributing those kind of expensive cars is wrong. The hardcore far northerner actually will celebrate it. So it will not make them get angry.
So even though there's a war, even though the war has started, don't you think it can be played alongside evangelizing, changing their minds, renewing their minds? Because the mentality they have is that of slavery. I understand. Sadaka, they believe in the fact that the person that is in the seat of power is God that puts him there. So may you live long. So everything they take it in their stride. They continue in that subjugation. But is it not high time we show them? Because Adini Acheba Shengia, but we show them pictures of their own people, Suna Shengia. We enlighten them and open their eyes. I'm just saying, I agree with you. Yes, the war has started, is to move with those who are already on the battlefield, battle ready. But while those are in battle ready, I still feel that there should be some work that should be done. Because...
Okay. May I just jump in there? We are doing a lot of work, and we have been able to win many. But when you're dealing with the masses, is very, very difficult, because religion, as they say, is the opium of the masses. And when the people have been indoctrinated, Islam indoctrination starts from childhood. It's not like Christianity and others where people are left, you have your liberty. Their own is by force. So this thing is put inside of you to defend your religion. Even when you are killing another fellow human being, you have no feelings. You celebrate it. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. You are doing it for God. So it's difficult to, yes, we are trying to do it, but only the few enlightened are catching it. It's like you coming up and saying you want to free women that are oppressed in the far north from this oppressive thing with hijab, with this, they have no rights because you are a
Childhood
woman.
marriage. Childhood
And
marriage.
the women will be the ones that will fight you, the ones you want to release from that bondage, because they have been indoctrinated to believe that Allah wants it like that. And if Allah wants it like that, who is this infidel from Edo State, this infidel from Lagos coming to mess up with their religion? They don't mind killing you to uphold their Puda system. So that's why, but leaving those religious things aside, we are talking about a Nigeria that Tinubu has come to destroy and patent it and make it his own personal property, so that if anybody tries to touch it, he will defend it with the last drop of his blood by killing people like he did with the Lekki toll gate, because his business empire was seemingly going to be in danger. So he didn't mind killing innocent unarmed young people to protect his business. And he has seen Nigeria as his, the dream business that he really wants, and now he got it. So who are you who want to come and take it from him? So he wants to make sure he pays everybody to keep them mute. So the few people that are talking, he wants to go after them and make sure they are silent. But I am saying, if we start a call by telling Nigeria, we shouldn't really be bothering about far north. Nigeria is bigger than the far north. We should just think Nigeria and think about those that are just tired and they want Nigeria back. They would then start, because if we keep thinking we are waiting for them, when do we know they are ready? You never know who is ready to go out until you go out. I mean, NSAS was not a gathering in a stadium that was called, let's come so day, but then people got tired and suddenly, before they realized it, it was all over Nigeria. But did the far north, the hardcore north that borders all those other, terrorist nations, on top of us, how many of them joined NSAS? But it was powerful enough to have brought the government down. That's why they quickly went and killed those boys or those youth. But this time around, it will be more than NSAS.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Haruna, for your time with us. I really appreciate your submission and how you handle the questions as well. That means all I can take from all this that we've discussed from you now and the questions and all that is that there's no single hope for judiciary. That one, be as a ghetto. There's no single hope.
I think it's the realistic way to look at it, because it is that hope that people, it's not even that they are even hopeful. It gives them an excuse to be lazy. So if that is eliminated, that the judiciary is not coming to your rescue, then they'll start looking inwards to see what they can do, because it is only we, the people, that can do something.
Okay.
Dr. Haruna, can I ask a question? Yeah.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Haruna. Good evening. Thank you very much for the job you have been doing for Nigeria as a country, most especially some of you like Elvis and co. Dr. Haruna, there's something I wanted to confirm. Is it true that the Kano State governor got 1,700 youths into marriage last week and paid for their diary and then gave them food and bread? And bed.
Yeah, that is true.
Life. Okay. If that is true, sir, Dr. Haruna, I see Kano is a mainstream Nigeria in the northern part of Nigeria. Because, you see, that is one of those places where hope of uprising normally comes from. And now that this governor there is as this, then what is it now our guarantee that most of these people, they've not started turning this youth into, or try to blindfold the youth in these various areas, this area where we have hope, where they can join the system to make sure Nigeria, we fight for for the light of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, if I may say something concerning that, truly, I think what has also taken Nigeria where she is today is this thing of believing that the far north are the ones that have what it takes to change or move Nigeria forward. The moment we have that mentality, passivity will come in. We'll become docile. We'll just wait for them to move. But I am telling you where we are now. One person sitting somewhere can be the agent to this change. Now, you must understand, anytime you have heard about crisis in Kano, 90% have been motivated by religion. But in this case, they don't have a thing based on religion to come out for. But if it's among them fighting between APC and NMPP, when they feel their mandate has been taken because of all their red caps, then it will be a fight in between them, but not a fight for Nigeria. But this thing we are talking about is a fight for Nigeria, not a fight that we need people from Kano to start it, then we join. That then means the rest of Nigeria have given the Northerners too much power. That's why they have stayed. Because we have told them without them nothing will happen. Nobody can be president without the votes of the North. And then the Southerners will be divided. And then greed and selfishness comes in and their votes are divided. If Igbo person can stand against Obi, that's why we are where we are. They've not had president. And then the same person will go and be siding a hardcore Northerner against his own brother. Then what are we talking about? So to me, I think some of the Nigerians that are saying they want change, they are actually the reason why they are suffering. They are one side of the mouth, they want change. One side of the mouth, they are eating with the enemy.
All right.
Please,
Thank you.
Sorry.
Augustine, yes.
Sorry,
go ahead.
Sorry, NAIJA Watch. Thank you very much. Good evening, Dr. Haruna. Good evening, NAIJA Watch. Haruna Goro, welcome to our channel. What I wanted to confirm from you, because sometimes I do not know the thinking. Sometimes I follow the flow I make up stories. So I feel that this should be the thinking of an average Northerner in the rural area in the north. Do they see their leaders as responsible for their suffering? Or do they feel that it is from people from the south? I don't want to mention, or say people from the south, it could be any ethnic group. Do they see their leaders around them? Those people, if whether Emir or no Emir, anybody, do they see their leaders as responsible for their suffering? Do they think that way?
Just a few of them do. When they vote for somebody or somebody is in leadership and they are expecting to see at least they should have basic, like amenities, have food to eat, and those basic things. If they start noticing that they are not getting it, that's how you start hearing them say tearing. They like the time they were tearing pulling down the billboards of Buhari, even in his own hometown, barricading the road and attacking his convoy, so to them, it gets to a moment where they feel like they have expected their own brother to help them and they are hungry while they can see some of the people around the brother and the brother are enjoying while they are suffering. Then they start saying things like, yeah, it's a bamuso. Then you'll see the mob action. But the mob action doesn't go far because soon what you need to do to a poor man is give him little food somewhere and he will be quiet again. And you must understand, many of them come from, especially the ignorant ones, come from the Almajiri system. And in the Almajiri system, they are brought under this one teacher who keeps maybe about 400 or 500 under his tutelage, and they're staying all on one floor, dusty floor, and they all eat together, and that's why you see them going out and begging. So any little thing you give to them, then you pacify them, and they no longer think you have a problem. And the people know that, and they play to that.
Thank you, Dr. Haruna. God bless you, sir. I appreciate your time with us again, like I said earlier on. I just hope that all Nigerians can realize at this particular time that the sooner we all come together to... Well,
Mr. Elvis.
Yes, sir.
I have a question for Dr. Haruna, though.
Okay, go ahead.
So, Babana Angayeka, sir. So, the question for you is, even though, so we have a core ordinance, which we know that. What are the people doing to sensitize the information that they get to make sure that we translate whatever is going on now and then pass it to them raw messages? Because now, like the issue of Songolere's forgery, I don't know the core not. I think they are polluting that information, like making it as if he didn't forge certificate. So what are we helping to do to translate this information so they can get them on a real original news and on original news?
You mean what do you mean by original news?
You know, there are fake news at the APCs. They are circulating in the corners, like the issue of the forgery.
You see, when you talk about circulating false news, it's got nothing to do with a region, because people from the Southwest are some of the people that came out on TV to propagate the lies and try and cover up what Tinubu did. So the only one is that when it happens to the hardcore northerner, especially somebody that didn't go to school, you know, that's how their life have been. But we don't, I'm saying, let's think beyond those type of people. Let's think the ones that have understanding, that can reason and get, yes, we have messages we are sending out like we did before the election. We did our work. We managed to convince many of them to come out and vote. They voted, and Mahmoud was bribed to steal the election. So now they've done their work. So suddenly they realize that, okay, even though we joined, we supported, we voted, but the person didn't make it. They lied and said the person didn't make it. They said because there are two Muslims, so then they tell them that, no, is it not better to have two Muslims than to have a Muslim and an infidel? So when it comes to religion, sometimes even an educated, hardcore northerner, a sentiment of religion overshadows reason. For the South, people from other parts, they are more liberal. Even people that tell themselves they're hardcore Catholics, they are liberal. But in the North, whether you are a Zala or whichever sect, when it comes to uniting against infidels, we are all one.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Haruna, for standing for what is right, your transparency, your stand for a better Nigeria. I respect it so much, sir. Thank you so much. Like I've always said on this platform, is a collective effort. Everybody, we all are doing our part, and you are doing yours as well. I respect you so much for that, sir. Thank you. I really do hope. It's very painful though to know tonight now that many people don't have hope that we will get a result from the Supreme Court. You know, for me, I don't trust them, but I have the hope that yes, something can still happen. But I can see now that you guys are already having a plan B for Nigerians to hit the streets. Like I've said before, it's not up to Nigerians in Nigeria, you know, on what they want to do.
And that's what I want to even ask for somebody who is on ground. Sorry for chipping in like this. Dr. Haruna, I just want to ask for you who is on ground in Nigeria, what do you think we in the diaspora, what role can we play that we have not played or that we are not playing enough? What can we do to support the groundwork that people are doing back home? Because there is this debate of, you people where they are abroad, make una come back, make una come fight.
You don't have to, because you've not been living there and it will be very difficult for you. Some can even become casualties, which is not advisable. So the best thing will be empower people that you know are transparent and people that you know you can trust. And I had mentioned something before, that people, do you know something? One person can be the Martin Luther of Nigeria.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I know Martin Luther didn't finally become president or anything, but he paved the way. So sometimes these kind of people that are prepared to lay their necks on the chopping board and be the ones that will stick their necks out, the only challenge they have is that many people that have the means to empower them are not prepared to help them. I can pull out a name immediately and tell you, if today, I don't know who is on this platform listening to us, but you give Dr. Mo, even if it's 20 million or 50 million, you will not see anything on him. You will not buy a car, but you will see Nigeria out to take the mandate.
Yeah, and that is what we need, something like that. So
we have those kind of people, but they need to be empowered.
That's very good.
And LP will not do it because we know they receive shishi, we know they give shishi.
Yes.
But to mobilize people, do you know we have platforms that we can get people on to do planning that is not on phone, normal phone?
Okay.
We've got this thing like a Signal, that everybody that's part of it will be on Signal.
Yeah.
I know these are things I shouldn't say here. We have gone past using WhatsApp for communication.
It is,
and it takes strategic planning. And I don't want to puncture the balloon of people being optimistic, but I'm saying at my age and studying our people and what is going on, I'm thinking ahead beyond Supreme Court, because we always say, let's be hopeful, let's be hopeful. Then when it ends up slamming on our face, then we start thinking, oh, these people are diabolic, they are wicked. They have been wicked. Is it today they will change?
You're right.
How do you see Tinubu surrender?
No
just
more
normally.
Questions.
Can I have
the people he has surrounded himself with people like Wike, you think they will just surrender? No. It will be like daydreaming, I'm telling you. It's like buying birds that are flying in the sky with nobody with a catapult.
All right, Mr. Edwin, what's the question, sir? We should round up the questions.
Thank you very much. Haruna, sir, I want to find out from you, now that allegedly we heard that Tinubu is completely down, then every day we are hearing that money is being borrowed from IMF, palliative is being given to House of Rep, vehicles are being purchased for them. Who is then taking this decision in the name of the president? Thank you.
Okay, I mean, there are certain things that they do that I may not know. I'll also be hearing you. However, what I do know is that they have a clear plan. They did it during Buhari. When Buhari was down, they did everything and kept Nigeria bound, hypnotized, bewitched, that somebody can be away for over 100 days on medical district and Nigeria is still running, and there are people that are running. Those are the people Tinubu has already surrounded himself with, and they will run it whether he's down for 90 days until they are removed.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Haruna. I appreciate you, sir, for taking your time to take all our questions. May God bless you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate you always.
Of the good work, and we must never lose hope because of what I say. But it's just that hope should have knowledge.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Once again.
Thank you. Okay.
May God bless every one of you right there. Thank you, sir. Have a good evening, sir. May God bless you.